Yeah, billionaires. Yeah, I know. I bitch at them a lot. They serve no function. They serve no function. They're only a drain. They're a negative. They're it. Money translates into power. Power has corrupted ultimately, and now we have a system where there is no limit on how much money you can have. There's no reasonableness to our economy. When Jeff Bezos is making $11,000 a second and he's worried about, he's got infrared cameras watching his employees to make sure that they're not standing still. I mean, this kind of fucking shit just infuriates me to no end because when I was younger, $250,000, after that you were taxed 100%, everyone was happy, and, you know, no one thought, gee, I'm poor because I'm making this much, because there was no, it's everything was it's only the number that's changed. But just like today, except we wouldn't have a fucking deficit. Nothing would change. People would still have big boats. People, this group would still have more money than this group. Nothing would fucking change. Nothing has changed in the last 50 years that I've been an adult who could go to jail. Yeah, I pretty much understand the reality of things, and that is that billionaires have pretty much taken over everything. Our fucking Supreme Court, our markets, our governments, our military. They've pretty much taken over everything. It serves no purpose for our society whatsoever. They take all this wealth and sequester it away, and then the majority of time, they just need to fucking be involved. They can't just be happy being wealthy. No, because wealth is power, and you can't spend power unless you use power. And so they do. They can't fucking help themselves. Okay? They get involved in one way or another. Especially billionaires who get a hard-on for another billionaire. You know what I mean? Like Bezos and Musk. Billionaires serve no fucking purpose, and we've allowed them to do it. It's one of the main reasons we can't let Republicans back in office, because they'll just make it worse. We need to completely redo the tax system. Warren Buffett has just come out and said, plain as day, listen, if billionaires paid their fair share, we wouldn't have a deficit. Right now, we could just pay our deficit off. Now, that's a pretty scary fucking thought, when the truth, the the Wizard of Omaha? I mean, when this guy says something like that, people should sit up and fucking listen. He understands the truth of the situation, and he's getting to an age where he understands that the truth and seeing reality for what it is, okay, is the only way to face your mortality with calm and grace. All the money in the world is going to keep you from dying. I think if we can just have the next 3 election cycles handed over to sane people, that we could fix a lot of what's going wrong with America, okay? Number one, the Supreme Court needs to be fixed. They've been bought and fucking paid for. I mean, talk about crooked, okay? And Warren Buffett said, I'm going to pay less tax than my fucking secretary out there this year. Now, that is a crying goddamn shame. The system is fucking broken, and it doesn't even make sense because of that. It doesn't even make sense because the way they rigged it, they've gone way the fuck overboard. I mean, they didn't just rig it. They pretty much fucking made it so that, the average person is basically paying their fucking share. And they walk away with everything. Okay. I had to get that off my chest. Go donate to the anti-psychotic pack. George Conway's antipsychotic pack. Don't donate $34.34. Maybe we can stop these billionaires and keep them from sucking our country dry while they do nothing except bitch about how little their workers do. Can you fucking believe that? To have the balls, the gall, to have $100 billion in the bank and to say that your fucking employees were lazy. Can you imagine the ego, the maniacal fucking twist that has happened up there? For you to have the concept in your fucking brain that your workers aren't worth what they're doing for you. Oh, wow. So sad. So fucking sad. It really is. I'm going to try to find that date. When I was young, anything over $250,000, you were taxed 100%. If we did that, there would be no deficit. We'd have more money than we needed, and we could start solving a lot of the problems we have in America, okay? Especially infrastructure and the future of battery technology and switching over to the electron. Start mitigation funds and things like this for the climate change disasters that are obviously coming. I have an ominous feeling. I shouldn't say it. I have an ominous feeling about hurricane season this year. Too many abnormal things. Too many weird fucking things. Beryl, especially, I mean, we hadn't had a hurricane come out of there since 1851, since they've been keeping records. And it was no little, tiny little tropical depression, do nothing. It caused havoc the entire lifespan. I just got a bad feeling about it. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. Okay, I had to get that off my chest. Fucking billionaires. You know, it's one of my big, you know, it's, I understand the evil, the evil intent, the evil life form, the evil base, you know, id only understands the power. That's it. Money and power is exactly the same as energy and matter, okay? Money and power, you know, people who have money that don't have a love of money end up really making an example for billionaires, like Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, okay? She's doing good things and giving away a lot of money because she knows she doesn't need it. She'll never be able to spend it all. And that, you know, the way to make yourself feel better is to justify the fucking blessings you have in this life. You know what I mean? And she gets it. If all the billionaires were as generous in percentage as she is, man, the world would be such a better place, okay? But that's not the truth. That's not how things are. That is not how things are. I'm ashamed to say it, and part of the human species. I can't rationalize it. Billionaires, they perform no function. They perform no service. Being a billionaire does nothing for anything in the entire world. You know, nothing. We just allow them to have that amount because they've set up the laws and the systems to say they can. To keep them from, they don't have to pay fucking taxes. Right? I mean, come on. When Warren Buffett says he's going to pay less tax than his secretary out there, that's so goddamn sad and so twisted in thinking, right? Sorry, I just saw these fucking billionaires in their, you know, their love of power. That's what gets me the most. It's not that they just want to buy a big fucking boat, okay? They want to influence the world. Elon Musk, he's an extreme example of that. Jeff Bezos, he's more of he's more just your typical greedy, he'll never have enough billionaire who wants to be Elon Musk, I guess. But I showed you the list. I have the list. There's 1,000 billionaires in the United States. None of them benefit us in the slightest possible fucking way. They only extract, and we allowed them to set it up that way, okay? I'm sorry, but no one needs, $20 billion, let alone $200 billion. No one needs that. Do you think that anything would change? SpaceX, Tesla, you see, if all billionaires paid their fair share, everything would be cheaper. Electric cars would be cheaper. Billionaires only having 50 billion, they would still have the same amount of power and balls and everything else they had when they had 200 billion. It's just a fucking numbers game, right? You have to work fewer hours now. If you're 30, you have to work fewer hours now to buy a new car than your great-great-great-granddad did, okay, to buy a Model T. It's always just going to be a fucking numbers game. But when we make money power, which is what it's become, okay, you lose control of that. It's no longer just money. Now it becomes something dangerous, okay? Elon Musk the other day was going to sue, he wanted to sue advertisers because they wouldn't advertise on his platform, that he was being discriminated against. I'm like, this is from the fucking guy who's like Mr. fucking free speech and all this, and then he's going to fucking sue people for saying something about him. And I mean, they always are the opposite of what they say. I don't think billionaires really like themselves, to be honest, okay? He's irresponsible as a reproducing human, okay? He can't have enough kids. I don't know. You have your psychotic billionaires, and then you have your silent billionaires, because they're smart enough to understand, don't fucking just blend in. Just blend in. Don't look, act, or talk like anything special. Don't let people know that you have $50 billion in the bank. Okay, those are your dangerous types. Those are the ones that want to buy your Supreme Court justices, things like that. Make sure that your representative in your area does exactly what you want. We have serious problems here where I live, in our city council and all that. We're kind of like the laughing stock of the state right now, because politics took over common sense rulemaking for our city and our area. I want a city council that doesn't think the election was stolen. I want a city council who doesn't take out Dominion voting machines because of some fucking conspiracy theory, okay? I want rational fucking government. But this guy, right, who was denied putting a winery up here, some fucking billionaire, decided, okay, fine, fuck you. And now my county is trashed because he just put all this fucking money into stirring shit up in our county. He wanted to just destroy the people who had denied him, and he had the money to fucking do it, and that's money being power, not money being money. And this is why I hate fucking billionaires. And the ones like Warren Buffett that just go, yeah, if billionaires paid their fair share, we wouldn't have a deficit and everything would be fine. But is that covered by the news? Barely. Barely. It should be headline fucking news. But billionaires own newspapers and TV stations. Billionaires don't like billionaires that give. Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, right? The way she gives. Billionaires don't like her doing that. It makes them look bad. And they understand that too. Okay? All right. I had to get that off my chest. Just more like a therapy session. I kind of needed it. You know, when I see that typical fucking billionaire and the attitude of control that they feel they have over the world around them and people around them, that they are better, smarter, wiser, you know, than you are because they have money, a ridiculous amount of money, and you're just a poor person. They truly, I mean, in a psychologically fucked up, damaged way, they really do believe that they're better. And that's never going to change. This is why billionaires don't do the right thing with their money, and they do the wrong thing with their money. This is why they can't help themselves. It's impossible. They can't fucking help themselves. You know what I mean? It's a psychological fucking problem that happens to people. I've watched a couple of Jane Goodall specials on apes and their societies, and man, I tell you, it's so obvious that we came from apes. Unless you're a bonobo. That's different. Okay. I had to get that off my chest. Sorry. I feel better now. I'll make sure that I put "don't bother watching" on the title.